This old, scratched 10-cent coin from South Africa looks like nothing more than spare change. But one rare version has shocked collectors by selling for thousands of dollars. Yes, from a coin most people would ignore or even throw away. This worn-out 10-cent coin from 1995 might look like it's been through years of rough handling. Scratched, faded, maybe even a little dirty. The kind of coin most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up. But here's the shocking truth. Certain 1995 South African 10-cent coins with the ALS initials have quietly become highly sought after by collectors, and in the right condition or with the right features, they can be worth far more than their face value, sometimes reaching into the hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Now imagine this. You're going through an old jar of coins, or maybe checking your loose change after a trip, and you spot this exact coin. At first glance, it doesn't look special. It's small, lightweight, and probably shows signs of heavy circulation. But hidden in plain sight are tiny details that could turn this ordinary coin into a surprising payday. The 1995 South African 10-cent coin comes from a period of major transition in South Africa's history. These coins were minted shortly after the end of apartheid, during a time when the country was redefining its identity. Because of this, coins from the mid-1990s hold a unique place in numismatic history. But what really grabs collectors' attention isn't just the date, it's the initials you'll find on the coin. If you look closely at the reverse side, you'll notice small letters, ALS. These initials belong to the designer of the coin. Most people never even notice them. They're tiny, almost hidden in the design. But for collectors, these initials are one of the first things they look for. Why? Because certain variations, placement differences, and strike qualities tied to these initials can make a big difference in value. Now here's where things get interesting. Not all 1995 10-cent coins are equal. In fact, most of them are only worth a few cents in circulated condition. But there are rare exceptions, coins that were struck with sharper details, coins that somehow avoided heavy wear, or coins that have unusual characteristics like double strikes, off-center designs, or slight minting errors. For example, a well-preserved 1995 ALS 10-cent coin with minimal wear, what collectors call high grade, can already fetch a nice premium compared to regular coins. But if that same coin also has a visible minting error or an unusually strong strike, the value can jump dramatically. These are the coins collectors hunt for, the ones hiding in plain sight. And here's the twist. Sometimes the ugliest coins are the most overlooked treasures. People assume that if a coin is scratched or dirty, it has no value. But that's not always true. In fact, some collectors specifically look for coins that haven't been cleaned or polished, because cleaning can actually reduce a coin's value. That means your old, natural-looking coin could be more desirable than a shiny one. Another clue to watch for is the sharpness of the design. Take a close look at the details, especially the lettering, the edges, and the main image on the coin. If those features still look crisp despite the coin's age, you might be holding something special. Even small differences in how clearly the coin was struck can make collectors take notice. Also, pay attention to the color. South African 10-cent coins from this period are typically made from copper-plated steel, which means they can show different tones depending on how they've aged. Some develop a darker, richer color over time, while others may show uneven toning. While this alone doesn't guarantee value, unusual or attractive toning can sometimes increase a coin's appeal. Now let's talk about rarity. Millions of these coins were produced in 1995, but very few have survived in top condition. And even fewer have unique features that make them stand out. That's why collectors are willing to pay a premium when they find one that checks all the right boxes. It's not just about the coin, it's about how rare that specific version of the coin is. There have been cases where coins like this, originally worth just 10 cents, have sold online or through collectors for prices that seem almost unbelievable. And the most surprising part? Many of these coins were discovered in everyday places, old jars, forgotten drawers, even pocket change. So before you ignore that scratched 1995 10-cent coin, take a closer look. Check for the ALS initials. Examine the details. Look for anything unusual. Because what seems like a worthless piece of metal could actually be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered.